Welcome back, Planeswalkers. It's Theorix6 with some more Magic Arena on WMTG 101 The Deck. Fucking disc jockeys, man. Anyway, I would like you to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. It's a great deal. It helps support the show. And the freaking Dragon Shield sleeves, man, they're so much value. Anyway, today we're playing a deck that I realized, like, I haven't given Bant a lot of love recently, I don't think so. So I'm playing a Bant climb deck, you know, with Hydroid Krasis. This deck is really interesting because Hadana's climb can essentially kill your opponent in like one turn. So it's really cool. So this deck is a deck that I essentially just took from MTG Goldfish. I really like being able to look through their like lower of the actual standard decks and just like pick one of those because I think they're really interesting, and they're decks that don't really get as much time in the sun. So this deck essentially just has a large number of creatures that use +1/+1 counters and just essentially attempts to just mid-range people out of the game with some potential burst damage from Hadana's climb. So we're running 4 Llanowar Elves as well as 4 Incubation Druids as our ramp package. The Incubation Druid works really well with this deck because of the fact that Hadana's climb can give it that extra counter. So theoretically, you could play 2 3-drops on turn 3 by playing Hadana's climb, putting it onto the Incubation Druid, and then going for something like a Jadelight Ranger. But also, it's just a nice way to have a decent number of counters as a top deck late in the game. Is something that's decent, unlike Druid of the Cow. We are running 4 Growth Chamber Guardians because this card is just so good in mid-range decks. That's legit it, but also it does adapt. And since we have several ways of putting counters on this, we're going to be able to go through pretty much all of our Growth Chamber Guardians pretty quickly without needing to use the adaptability here. We're running 2 Baffling Ends as our main low-cost removal package. You could possibly do something else, but we're in Bant. That's not really the colors of removal. So this does a decent enough job, and unless your opponent is playing aggressive and playing enchantment removal, this is essentially permanent removal. For Hydroid Krasis, we're a deck that has blue and green, and what's more, we have counters, a +1/+1 counter sub-theme. Can't not play the Krasis. The card is just fantastic at restocking, providing you with an evasive beater, and it gains life, I guess. Like it's just such a good card. For Jadelight Rangers, now we don't actually have the full Explore package in here, even though several of the Explore package does include a decent amount of counter stuff. But I think that's fine. If you do want to go more of a just like Sultai Midrange, except instead of Sultai you go Bant, that's something you can do, and these are some of the things that you might want to consider. Jadelight Ranger, though, is just a fantastic midrange card, allowing us to look at potentially the top 2 cards, getting a decent body as well. For Knight of Autumns, this card's so versatile, it's just great. Just make a big beater, destroy an artifact enchantment, gain some life. It's just chef's kiss. 3 Hadana's Climb. It's only 3 because this is a legendary, but also because it's a legendary. Now, the thing is, you can't not flip it. Whereas Escanta, you do get a choice. This requires the flip, so having extras of them essentially is 3 mana for a +1 counter. What you could do is, before you play this, or I guess before you go to combat, yeah, you can just use the one you already have and then like play this and this on the creature, and then you flip it, and it's like, you could do that, but it's pretty mana intensive and it's not really something you want to do, so that's why it's only at 3. It's also not integral to the deck, even though it's called Bant Climb. It's just a sweet way to win. 2 Ixalan's Biting. Gets rid of permanents that we want to go. 2 Ajani, Adversary of Tyrants. This card, even though we don't have a ton of creatures, CMC 2 or less, because Hydroid Krasis does not really count, this deck cares about putting counters on things. He puts counters on things. It's pretty dang good. Also, if you get to the -7, that's real difficult for your opponent to deal with. Against a control deck, you don't really have to commit much to the board for the rest of the game. Just a bunch of three cats at the end of each turn. Seems pretty good. Additionally, against aggro, you have blockers that have lifelink. Pretty dang good. That said, you're not guaranteed to get this to ultimate at all. 2 Vivien Reid. I freaking love this card in creature decks. We are running a decent number of creatures, 23 lands, and there it is, 26 creatures. So she is really helpful at getting extra creatures, as well as blowing things up and ultimating to win the game. 2 Carnage Tyrants, because screw you, Control. That's pretty much it. But also, you know, it's a really good card with Hadana's Climb, because the flipped version, you don't need to have a creature with +1/+1 counters. You can just use it, unlike any old thing. And Carnage Tyrant, being something that has hexproof and trample, works really well with this. Really well. This is the mana base, and I should, once again, mention, entirely stock list. I did play a few games to see if I wanted to change anything, but I was satisfied with how the deck played. I'm surprised, honestly, that I don't see more of it on the ladder. Now, since I am doing that sweet ranked climb, which I want to say, I appreciate the hell out of the response that has gotten so far. It is doing great. A lot of feedback, a lot of really nice, good feedback. I really appreciate that, and I really love that you guys are in this with me. But because of that, we're playing in rank mode, or we're playing in play mode, not rank mode. Cool, cool. I did play 2 games before this, and I won both of them. I only played 2 as my practice games instead of the usual like 3 or so, because of the fact that I just came from a presentation. Well, not just, but I had a presentation today, and when I got home, I wanted to chillax a bit. This hand is fine. We're going second. If we're going first, it would be a little harder to justify a keep, only because of the fact that Llanowar Elf could die, and we don't want to lean too much on that. But since we're going second, not only do we have extra turns to draw those remaining lands. No, I mean, that's pretty much it, actually. Go ahead and play the Llanowar Elf now. No need to necessarily shock on turn 1. Steamkin is unfortunate for sure. And yes, I did shock because I wanted to play Jadelight, because I want to make sure I can hit those lands. And that is not a land, so graveyard. That is not a land, so graveyard. I would have loved this for Steamkin, but, you know, we just don't have the mana for it, and I want to try and not get screwed, especially if my opponent has a Chain Whirler here or something. You know, Llanowar Elf just dies. Lightning Strike. I'm fine with the Lightning Strike there. Opponent is down to 4, and we do have, you know, 8 life gain here. I assume... no? Interesting. Cool, Glacial Fortress is nice. And I think I will just Jadelight... yeah, I think I'll just Jadelight here. Sure. Try and get up some more. I mean, we have a decent amount of life gain in this hand. Okay, then. Go ahead and attack. You know, the Hydroid Krasis are going to help us refill. It's going to be real nice. And then Knight of Autumns can just gain a bunch of life. Ooh. Would have been great to have that Ixalan's Binding now, wouldn't it? For what it's worth, Baffling End does deal with this. I don't think I block this turn. Well, they could play... they could play one more red thing. And then they wouldn't want to block this. I think I'm going to block this turn. I think there's kind of no reason not to, right? Like, if they want to light up the stage and then use it, okay. They didn't even have, like, anything for it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I going to play this to gain life now? I think I do want to do that. The problem is, if I play this to gain life, then my opponent is, but if they're running it, more likely to play Chain Whirler over other things. Although they might Chain Whirler if I play the Llanowar Elf anyway. So I do think, I think I'll go ahead and just gain the life. I think the Hydroid Krasis, getting to that point, is what's going to really bring me back in the game. So I think it's totally fine just attempting to have a nice ramp out thing here, but not being too upset if we do get Chain Whirled. Now, I don't want to get Chain Whirled. I really wish I had access to that Ixalan's Binding. Ruh-roh, Reggie. Yup. Firebrand I'm okay with. I hope that they kill my Knight of Autumn. Yeah, any time you're going up against a red deck that gets 3 Steamkins, pretty dang bad for you. Luckily, they're going to run out of gas. Or not. Alright. Lightning strike my face. Please. Lightning strike my face. Not my elf. My face. You can hit Knight of Autumn. I don't care. Don't hit my elf. Well, that's just rude. Opponent is going to hit the elf. Unfortunate. I guess they kind of assume that I'm going to be on some sort of Hydroid Krasis shenanigans, but still, you know, that's 6 damage not coming to my face. I can only Krasis for 3. Really don't love that. I'm going to take this. Ow. Ooh, Baffling End is pretty good. So I will gain some life here. I'll go ahead and exile Steamkin. Can double block one of these. Would have been better just to make it a 4-3. Yeah, it would have. Would have been at 9. Since my opponent is out of gas, it would have been better for me to just have it as a 4-3, because then I could have single blocked. And now double blocking is not good if they decide to leave their Fanatical Firebrand back. Or you can use it before combat. Sure. Because now if you attack with the Pyromancer, I definitely kill the Pyromancer. Yeah, I think that was incorrect for my opponent. I think they should have waited. Knight of Autumn. Hydroid Krasis would be for 3. So I couldn't really block it and have it be useful. I could Knight of Autumn. And then essentially I would need to fade 1 draw. And it would have to preclude like anything being drawn. I will try that. It might just be incorrect here. But I am going to try it. You know, the sins of the now. Paved by the sins of the past. Alright. Opponent very well. Shut up, bathroom. Very well. Could just be dead here. Yep. You know, that's kind of the price we pay. Let's see. So if I was at 4... Then he couldn't have killed that. Probably wouldn't have attacked with all of them. Could have blocked one of those. Blocked. Chump blocked maybe. Sort of been at... Still been at 9. Yeah, I think the thing that I messed up there, I think, was gaining life instead of getting the value. I could have survived if that last one I gained life, but without drawing a land, I still would have been on the back foot. Actually, let's see. So there's still been 8 damage on board. I could chump block one of them and still take 4 by... Gosh, my brain is broken. I was at 5. It would have been back up to 9. Would have chump blocked, gone back down to 5. Would have been at functional 3. Actually, I gained 1 life. Would have been at functional 4. And both of those would still be alive. Though if I did that, I would gain life. So, you know, we theoretically had play, but realistically, this hand is unfortunately not keepable. These are dead cards in our hand. This is much better. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Mono white, you say? We play this first because Sunpetal Grove can come in untapped. Play this out, and possibly need to binding something. Let's see, so under turn 3, unfortunately, I would not be able to bind a History of Benalia before it gets that additional attack in, but yeah, going second against the mono-white deck, not great. That said, we have a 2/2 blocker, so if they do decide to flip their Legion's Landing, which I assume they will... History? Is it really History? It's Tribunal. Sure, they're still not flipping their Legion's Landing right now, so that's okay. Gonna take 3 damage. Opponent only has 2 cards left. Gonna go and play this, and my Jadelight Ranger. Next turn, I can binding. Hadana's Climb. Ooh. Does give me a way to block flying creatures. And it would flip immediately, which is also functional ramp. Might be greedy, but I'm gonna do it. Why do I feel so short in my chair now? Maybe ooh, uh-oh. Alright, I'm gonna go and binding that, I think. Fudge off, please. Yeah. Do I binding it now? I can get a Carnage Tyrant. I just don't want to play another one. Do I go for the greed or do I not go for the greed? Opponent has 1 card left in hand. The problem is that the Conclave Tribunal, this gets reset, but I don't really make much progress. I'm going to go the greedy route because I'm dumb. Okay. Yikes. Let's see, so that is 10, 12 damage. Sure. Actually, I probably can't do that even. I probably have to block the Snubhorn so I don't die on a subsequent turn. But I'm fairly certain I'm just dead. Win sec. Don't go second against the mono white deck, and also don't be greedy. Alright. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. Okay, let me just double check. Binding that, super dead. Play this, super dead. Yep, just double checking. Would it have changed? Would it have changed if I binding that? I would have taken the 6 damage here. It would have been 11 still. However, I wouldn't have Jadelight to block and kill a Snubhorn. No, I would have, because it still only had 4 toughness, so I would have still been able to kill a Snubhorn. That would have been gone. They would have had that still, but I would have been at 11. Following this, I could play Carnage Tyrant, and then my Carnage Tyrant would be able to block that. 2, 4, 6. So I could have, if I wasn't greedy, I would have been able to potentially pull it back, but I was dumb. I was solicited by the greed, and I took it up on its offer. We did win 2 games, so we're at 2-2 right now. The games we won were against Rakdos Control and Selesnya Tokens. I kept a 2-lander against Rakdos Control, and I still won. They were really slow. Treasure maps, and they used, like, they were able to kill 2 of my two of my Planeswalkers with the Vraska's Contempt, but I just had creatures on board that they weren't able to deal with. Excuse me. Apologies for that. This... Oh, I'm going first. If I can get 1 more land, this is a really good hand. Greed. I shouldn't do it, but I'm gonna do it. My opponent mode, so that's nice. Let's see. Jardin. Yeah. So, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, mono green, you say? Oh, another land, you say? Don't mind if I do. No thanks. I could offer the trade, but I don't want to. Wait a minute. I'm not sure this is a good line to play out the adversary because of these things. Oh, I'm dumb. I didn't have access to that amount of mana anyway. I can play a Krasis for 2. That's probably fine. You know, it blocks. Or it just dies to a Harpooner. Sure. No. It's 1, right? No, it is 2. What am I talking about? Why is my brain broken? Oh, another Ajani. Bad. Bad cat. Bad kitty. Alright, is this a Steel Leaf champion? What he could do to get full value here... No, it would be bad for them. I was going to say he could attack first. Because now the Crawl Harpooner dying wouldn't get any value. But let's go ahead and do that. Ow. I'm going to play Vivien here. Ooh, Baffling End. Baffling End's pretty decent. Gets rid of the Steel Leaf champion. Bye. Want to try and keep them off Ghalta if possible. Krasis for 1, not a good idea. Just going to pass the turn. Did not realize I did not have enough white. As oopsies. What wasn't I talking about? Oh, right. So for those of you who don't go to the community the community tab on my channel. By the way, you absolutely should. I share a lot of polls and I talk about the channel and stuff. It's actually really helpful. Fudge off, please. Have you ever thought about not doing that? And being less of a tool? All right, well, this game just got even harder. Ow. Carnage T. Vivien here may distract my opponent, or not. They would just kill me. I guess I Krasis for 3. I could do it for just 2. Then I could have Llanowar Elves as a blocker, but I think I just need another land regardless for Carnage Tyrant if I want to win this game. Knight of Autumn does not really help. I can chumpity chump with Krasis. Yeah. Yeah, bump it now. I am officially dead. Because that's what this should be officially done. But over on my community tab, I did announce that I will be getting sponsored or whatever by Wizards for their I'm dead. Why is this deck forsaken me? I was sponsored on for their advanced streamer event, their early access streamer event. I'll be streaming that. I should note, Wizards is stocking me with a full account. It's not a real account. It's a special account given to me for a little bit of time by Wizards. They're promoting me and all the other creators. Need to make sure that is known. But I will be streaming on Twitch that Tuesday around 2 p.m. my time. I'm in the center of the United States, so I think it's CST. Sure. Ow! I rolled my neck. But yeah, so if you would like to see me play with new cards live, you should totally check me out over on Twitch. Why am I not streaming on YouTube? I've never set up the YouTube streaming, and I set up Twitch streaming a while ago. Thought I should go yourself. I'll do it after this. I feel too small. Sure, I assume my opponent is going to have removal for the other Incubation Druid, whatever. Grixis Control, probably not going to be... Why? Why do I lose when I turn the camera on? It's fine. These matches don't matter. All that matter are the... You know that I have a Knight of Autumn. Why? Why would you play that? What? Right? My opponent knew about this, right? I didn't draw that afterward, did I? Did I? Look, I don't... My brain's fried, alright? I had to give a freaking presentation today. That said, if you can't make it to watch live, I will be also making some videos. I assume they're going to take... I have no idea. Carnage T makes sense, because they can't counter it. Or target it. And it dodges a lot of the removal from Grixis. Interesting. Opponent did not have excess stuff. Probably should put Hadana's Climb on Incubation Druid. Or it might have a Shock, which would suck. Could have Spell Pierce. So I'm going to just play this. It doesn't matter too much. I just want to make sure I can play around it. Going to go to combat. We'll target this. Hope my opponent doesn't have Shock. They didn't have Shock. And I might as well just attack with both. Cool. Next turn I'll be able to Krasis for a large amount. 3. Sure, whatever. Why are you saying... Oh, because they're... Sure. 3, 6. Even if they counter this, I still gain 3 life and draw 3 cards. Did not get countered. Target this. It flips. I attack for 2. My opponent can cast down my Krasis at end of turn. I'm going to go and play a Llanowar Elf, because why not? They did not have the kill spell. Of course, I potentially win a game in which my opponent has missed their line jobs. But, the Devil, they get back in the game. It's fine. They can definitely get back in the game if I keep drawing this poorly. Let's see. None of these are great. So I definitely want to play this. Question is, I want to activate it as well, and I think I do. Look, okay. It's highlighting those lands. Let's see if it taps those lands. It's highlighting those lands, saying it will tap them. It tapped them. Yes, please, take action. See how we can get another Guardian of the Galaxy. And let's just play this land tapped. I'm not going to play this Guardian here because I don't want to get hit by a Ritual of Soot and have all of my stuff taken from me. I feel like I was saying something, but I legitimately don't remember. I assume my opponent... I was going to say, I assume my opponent's going to draw, but I think that's a terrible idea because they're dead. They had enough things in here that they should have minused on this so that it didn't die. Because now they're dead. Hey, look, I won a game. No. I'll attack. This person. Thank you. Nice thing about best of one, I still have time for another game. Cool. As summer approaches, I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to continue recording because I currently have my fan and my AC off in this room. So, you know, eventually I'll start sweating like a pig. But until that time comes, we'll try and make the audio good for all of you. Oh, right, the nails are back for those of you who care. I matted both hands. I'm kind of thinking about getting a different color, specifically like crimson or something. That's my second favorite color besides black. Technically, my first favorite color is like the entire grayscale, because I like white, I like various shades of gray, and I love black. I definitely like black more than I like the other colors, but no, I like those. Press cancel. Gets match. Sure. But I think like dark red is my next favorite, followed by like a dark shade of blue, followed by a light shade of blue. That seems pretty good. Lost good, great. What was I saying? You have Llanowar Elves as well? Cool, good for you. Do I want to just like super ramp? I don't know if it does anything for me to super ramp. It might be better just to apply pressure to my opponent. We'll ramp. Excuse me. So I think if I were to get another one, it'd be like Crimson. Oh, it's Golgari / Sultai Midrange. Decided to keep that on top, I see. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5's now. It's pretty cool. Can Guardian, and I can activate the Guardian. At the end of their turn, we're still decently far away from Vivien. I think this is fine. Yes. Sure. You don't have a Wild Growth Walker right now, so I'm fine with that. Sure. Next turn, my opponent can play Vivien. Very smart of you, opponent. I hate that sound. Interesting. The problem is these decks might run Golden Demise. Well, for what it's worth, they wouldn't be able to Golden Demise me next turn. Do I want to be the Super Greed? Yes, the answer to that question is yes. All of the creatures make a giant army, which the world has never seen before. Are you gonna just go? Yep, just go ahead and play Vivien. I have several creatures that can attack you.
No one knows the wilds
like I do. Sure. Ooh, Jadelight Ranger of my own. Don't mind if I do. Let's see. I can activate, like, all of these. And I'm fine losing an Incubation Druid for the value, so we're just going to go ahead and swing this over there, swing that over there, and swing both of these over there as well. Why don't ya? Tally-ho, my friend. Tally-ho. I am not sure why you made that decision. Because now she dies and I kill your Jadelight Ranger. I lose one thing.
Not bad.
Oh, they are Sultai. I literally just saw that. My brain RB broken. Finality, incredibly rude. Well, I still have a creature alive and you don't. Also, you forgot to play a thing, right? Wait, they forgot to play a thing. Didn't they? Couldn't they have played this land? Cool, cool. I will attack. I probably should have played Knight of Autumn. Yeah, that was probably just a mistake on my part. How dare you, opponent? How dare you? You kept that on top. That is interesting, to say the least. Damn, that Walker Texas Ranger might give me some headaches. My opponent has another find. This game is pretty much done, though. I can now see why this deck isn't played much. It dies horribly to Sultai Midrange. You might say, like, this is not dying horribly. I think it is. Shut up, please. Do I attack with this as well? Like, just chump here, or the stalemate here. Probably don't even chump this. They go down to, like, 12, and then they just play more Jadelights and shit. Yeah, I think... Sure, I'll just do this. Interesting. Did they, like, change the Incubation Druid nonsense? Because that would be freaking great. Go ahead and play this untapped, play this down, and now I can still use Growth Chamber Guardian. So, pass turn, see what nonsense my opponent has. Another finality. Definitely unfortunate. But they didn't use it to find, so I think I'm fine with that. Opponent can attack for one if they want. Sure. Okay, so I can double up on Knight of Autumn, right? Yeah. I will get 2 Chungus. They have 1 card left. I have no cards left. I have 2 4/3s and a 3/5. My opponent has a 3/5 and a 5/7. So we're at a bit of a stalemate right now. Makes sense. Thing is, I need to top deck something good. Ooh, that is a good card for my opponent. That's what I like to call a bingo, and I just found a response. Now, I can point this at the Wildgrowth Walker and start attacking in, which actually isn't great because they have Incubation Druid. But I suppose the correct decision is to get rid of the Midnight Reaper. It is potentially disastrous if my opponent draws more Explore creatures, but I just don't think I can afford to let them draw cards in any capacity. Cool. So, oh, interesting. Very interesting. That has to be removed, right? That has to be like Grixis Contempt. Take 5. I can triple block the Incubation Druid. Because if I double block the Wildgrowth Walker, I just lose out if my opponent has removal. But if I triple block the Incubation Druid, even if they remove one of my creatures, I still get the kill on it. So yeah, I'm gonna go and triple block. I am totally fine taking 5 damage here. Did you have removal? Very curious. Yes, they did. I can pull that one by me. I am an obligate mid-range player. Not entirely true. I play control. The unfortunate bit is that we're now in a racing situation, and I lose this race. The reason I'm attacking there, though, is because of a top-decked Hadana's Climb. Because that would be lethal. It's no longer lethal. Fuck. You should drop that. I'm not sure that was correct. Ooh, Hydroid Krasis is a help here. Let's see, so we can do that for 5, correct? Yes. Double checking. That is 7, 5. Baffling End is helpful here. The question is, am I going to go to 1 and block the Merfolk? I don't think they're going to attack with the Merfolk Branchwalker. So is it even worth double blocking? I don't think so. I think I go to 1. Sultai is not known for their burst damage. So we're going to Baffling End this, thank you. The unfortunate bit is we cannot attack right now. But we could, because we have Llanowar Elves to block. But that's predicated on them not having another piece of removal. We've only seen 1 Contempt. Yes, we've only seen exactly 1 Contempt. No cast downs, none of that. So for right now, I'm going to go and pass the turn. It's a 3-turn clock. And maybe I should have attacked. Now I'm going to pull the trigger and I'm going to be sad because of it. Krasis of their own. If this is a Krasis of their own, I'm going to need, yeah, I'm going to need a Krasis of my own as well. Ooh, okay. Vivien helps. Vivien helps. I can kill their Krasis. But I absolutely cannot attack here. Because my opponent has 3 cards, plus an additional 1 here. The chances that they get some form of removal are relatively high. And I can no longer risk attacking. If my opponent has 2 pieces of removal, I'm dead. And I have to accept that. Got another Hydroid Krasis. That's not good. That's not good at all. Oh, something I should know. Baffling End does deal with Hydroid Krasis. Let's see. Gonna go ahead and plus Vivien Reid. This has trample.
You can't stop nature.
I'm dead. I think I saw a lot of land at the end here, right? Oh, it shuffles randomly. Oh, man. Darn, that is disappointing. Yes, I could have bluffed, but my opponent, having a distinct card advantage, would likely just go for it. Dang. That said, it's a little bit of fun. I'll talk about the sideboard in just a moment after I open this pack. Oh man, I can't wait till War comes out. Hey, Domri. Shout out, Domri. I can't wait for Wars just so I can open so many packs. So I have this 50. I have no idea how much. This is at least 32. Right? It's 1,000 each? Yeah. At least 32. And then whatever the heck that is. Actually, you know, let's check. How much is almost 20k in packs? Ooh. We're going to get 90 extra packs as well. Do not mind if I do. So that'll be like 180, something like that. That's going to be fun. I might round it off to be 200 is like a nice even number. But let's talk a little bit about the sideboard we have here. 4 negates to deal with a lot of those control decks to make sure that they can't really get too much 1-ups on us. 2 Crawler Harpooners helps against other Hydras, or Hydroid Krasis, if they're not super out of control, or if we have a giant field graveyard. But most of the time, it's just going to be used for Drake's decks. Deputy of Detention, very helpful against, like, every monocolored aggro deck. It's also helpful against a lot of other decks. I need to make a blink deck, don't I? Are there good cards that blink things? I might be making a blink deck sometime soon. But Deputy Detention, very helpful. 2 more Ixalan's Binding, just, you know, when we need to get rid of things and have our opponents never cast them again. Cough, cough, Hydroid Krasis. 1 Saddle Wreckage. Screw you, creatures who are attacking me. 2 Lyra's great against aggro, and great against aggro. 2 more Carnage Tyrants because screw you, control. I had fun. I had fun with this video, even though, you know, we didn't do as well as I'd hoped. We did decent. I think we did decent. Yeah, sure, why not? I'd like to, of course, thank my lovely patrons, especially Salamander and Croft and Zin, for their continued support. If you'd like to join them supporting the channel, or, well, if you don't want to join them supporting the channel, you find links to the Patreon down in the description below, as well as you could just press the join button next to the sub button, and you become a channel member, like Dopey Dopes and Nibulus. I would really appreciate it. It helps the channel out. In the description, you'll also find links to the Discord server where I will be, like, announcing when I go live for the promoted, sponsored Wizards streamer event. I'm trying to be very careful with how I speak about this, because this is my first invite, and I don't want to upset Wizards. Senpai finally noticed me. I need to make sure I don't make a baka out of myself. Yes, I said that. Yes, I'm technically a weeb, although I don't watch much anime because I ain't got the time for that as a grad student. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go and tap that like button, add one of those subscriptions to your mana pool, cast one of those comments in the comment section down below, and add one of... crap. Why am I dumb? Pass the turn and the vid. So, your friends, look, I've talked, like, all day practicing for this presentation, and I gave a presentation. Alright? My brain is broken. Accept that. Anyway, until next time, I was gonna, like, be one and stuff and junk.